Tonight, I'm thinking about liberals and conservatives and Democrats and Republicans and why some people are the way they are, why I am the way I am, and I mean I guess being a conservative, there's a simplicity to it. You have what you have, and you operate in the world to keep what you have and to keep others from getting what you have. You know, it. I guess it's called realism, where they just conservatives. I sent this on Twitter just now, and I guess that's why it's in my head. But conservatives treat minority groups. It feels like they treat them in a way out of fear of that's how minority groups would treat them if they were the minority. Treating. I mean, I have to learn how to talk about these things and not get emotional about it. Just be able to be honest. I remember one of my first training seminars to be a field organizer. I was sitting next to a woman. This was in Florida, and they were asking us why we were there. And she said that she had a PhD. She was a professor living in California. And in California, she had married her girlfriend. But then when she moved to Florida, their marriage wasn't recognized at that point in 2012. And at that time, I understood that some states allowed gay marriage and other states did not. But it never crossed my mind that that also gave one state, it gave, in this case, it gave Florida the right to say no. Maybe, according to California, you're married, but to us, you're not. And I'm thinking, here was this woman, the PhD, I think she like from or she worked at Berkeley, a professor, Berkeley affiliated, PhD, and yet somehow I had more rights than she did. And what the hell did I do? What the hell did she do? I guess, and liberals can be called naive because we operate a lot under theory and faith. Why should the United States make a deal with Iran? Iran is a smaller country than us. We can bomb the crap out of them. We've got more money, more influence. We're a bigger, better nation than Iran. So why lower ourselves to make a deal with Iran? And that's the conservative point of view, and that's why they applauded President Trump pulling out of the deal. But and that's where the liberalism comes in, because you do it based on a theory. You shackle, you limit what your options, but you limit your own options, but you open up possibilities. Now, do those possibilities include, looking bad? Do the possibilities include, getting screwed over? Yeah, I suppose, but it also, and that's where you get into, like, really at its heart, the difference between liberals and conservative is their basic view of other people. when I think about people coming across the border, legal, illegal, paperwork, no paperwork, I generally think they're coming here. Give me the average person coming across the border, and I'm going to think they're a good person. I'm not saying I'm going to give them, keys to my car and give them my whole life, completely trust them, but I'm going to be like, okay. Then I'll get to know them and find out why they're here and what they're doing, but at a basic human level, they're a fellow human being. And I remember reading somewhere that I guess the term illegal immigrant is a political term. It's not recognized in court. No human is against the law. There are documented and undocumented immigrants, but no human is illegal. You're not a crime unto yourself because of where you were born, and because where you were born was across a geographical line that isn't even on the ground. Actually, that's just something we made up. You were born further than me, than this person. I mean, guy down the street. Actually, I've got a guy down the street who's a convicted sex offender. He's right down the street, but guess what? He's got he's got limited rights. However, I've probably got more in common with random guy crossing the border right now from Mexico than I do with him. And that person crossing the border, again, they haven't done anything except cross a border, cross a metaphysical, political line. And with conservatism, there's, as I said, there's like a simplicity to it. And there's a freedom because with conservatives, I'm gonna do what I think is best in the moment for as small a group as possible because I don't trust that many people, and because I'm going forward with my best intentions, anything negative that comes from it, that's your fault. You're reading into it. They want to be tough on the border. They want to call President Trump called illegal immigrants animals. And then later on, other people explained that he meant only MS-13 members were animals. But he never took the time to make that distinction. He took the time to make the distinction at the neo-Nazi rally in Charlottesville to assure us that there were good people on both sides, that not all neo-Nazis, should be lumped together. But when it came to animals and illegal immigrants, and he never has. A person, you take a random person who's crossing the border right now, I'm going to think they have more in common with me than different. Everything President Trump has said is, if you take that same random person, for President Trump, they are an animal, they're dangerous, they're a rapist who's going to be roaming the streets until proven otherwise. That's his beginning point with these people. And I don't know how much of it he believes, how much of it, I don't know how you hate people like that. I don't even hate Trump. People on welfare. I get into this argument all the time. Are there people on welfare that are, skimming the system, that are taking advantage of it, that are proud to be on welfare and aren't trying to get a job? Sure. Do I believe that number? I believe that number is, 2 to 5 to 10%. And, that's the thing, often because when I get in these conversations, I want to talk to conservatives and let them, without arguing, I just want to hear what they think. And yeah, most of them, I mean, a lot of conservatives I talk to, they think 40 to 60 to 80% of people on welfare want to be there, are fine with being there, are more fine with being there than they would be if they were on welfare. And again, it goes back to that, that commonality that they think other people are missing. And I don't know. Or it's like what conservatives think other people have in common are only their negative traits and not the good parts. I don't know how you hate though. Random hate. I've there's only a couple people I've hated my whole life. One I will always hate. Just because he did something long ago and can't be undone. And that's my only knowledge of him. Other people I've hated in moments. I've hated things they've done. Hated things they didn't do. Hated things they weren't. And maybe that they could have been. But I can't, as an American, make laws that assume other people are worse than me. And what was it, that John Rawls, the veil of justice, where you make laws where you make laws in a way that you don't know what side of it you're going to end up on. If I were an immigrant, what kind of laws would I say, okay, yeah, that makes sense, I understand. Our current laws, our current president, as an immigrant, I wouldn't understand. As a dreamer, as a child born here, of illegal parents, and then told, 15 years later, you can't be here anymore, I wouldn't understand that. Coming across the border, being separated from my kids, and then being told, we can't find your kids. Come on, America, we can, even if you're full of hate, we can do better. We can be better than that.